Brightest blessings, everyone. Psychic medium Elizabeth Grove, the Paranormal Priestess. Welcome to the Paranormal Priestess YouTube channel, and thank you for joining me today. And if you do happen to be new to this channel, welcome. My name is Elizabeth. I am a medium, divine channeler, spirit extractor specialist, white witch, and divine alchemist, and I also happen to be a divine feminine on the path of ascension. Thank you for joining me today. Been feeling a little bit under the weather, so just bear with me. But this video is definitely an important video to consider if you are going through a very hard time with some things from the past, some things that are coming up for you. If you relate to being a twin flame, if you relate to being on the ascension journey, then you definitely want to listen to this video. So here we are in Mercury retrograde. And as we know, or maybe some of you don't know, when we're in Mercury retrograde, it's always about going back into whatever is left, whatever is meant for us to heal, to close out. So Mercury retrograde, as well as the moon phases, as well as the solstices, they're all considered closures, closing out cycles. Now, of course, it's very difficult to do what we're going to be talking about today, shadow work. But I cannot stress it enough, especially if you have a twin flame. Because if you do have a twin flame, if you resonate with having someone in your life who really invokes within you very intense feelings, very intense passion, very strong connection, strong feeling of coming home, then you know what I mean in terms of you can feel really, really amazing, right? Touching God, feeling that golden light, that rainbow light, feeling that oneness. And then there are other times where your twin can really trigger some really deep, deep wounding. And see, that's where it gets sticky with the twin flame journey, and why a lot of people tend to say, I'm done with this, I don't want this person anymore, I'm going to block them, or they've blocked me. The reason being is because they are bringing up your deepest, deepest wounding. They are bringing up those deepest stories. They are bringing up those deepest limiting beliefs. They are bringing up those parts of us that we don't want to know about, that we don't want to see, those parts that we deem as ugly, unlovable, undeserving, not good enough. Not good enough, not good enough, not good enough. I can't even tell you how many times I have worked with twin flames. I work with everyone because I'm a reader for everyone, a healer for everyone, an extractor for everyone. But I do work, of course, a lot with twin flames because I'm on the path myself. And I see a lot of twins get extremely frustrated as to why there's no communication, as to why their beloved is not answering them back. Some twin flames still in third-party situations or karmic situations, although those are really, really ending across the board. But the reason being for all of that is that we have to learn through the shadow, right? We have to learn through those hard lessons of growth. And so many of those lessons do come from other lifetimes. They bleed through into this lifetime. But we also have a lot of the limiting beliefs and stories, patterns and things that come from the bloodlines as well. And let me tell you, if you have a twin flame, you know that the pain that can come with twin flame separation is unreal. Right? There's no real separation. That would be physical separation. But when these shadows are exposed, and your twin will expose them, when you do not love yourself, and this is not berating anybody because we have to go through these processes, but when you do not love yourself, when you are separated from self, when you are rejecting certain parts of yourself, right? When, and this could be yourself or your twin, usually both. When you are getting lost in things like addiction, when you're getting, and it could be any addiction. It could be addiction to cigarettes, addiction to drugs, addiction to alcohol, addiction to sex, addiction to chaos, addiction to adrenaline rushes, addiction to buying things, addiction to social media. It could be addiction to anything. When we are separated from ourselves, when we're looking for that external experience to fill a void within us, when we're feeling loneliness that just won't go away, and we try to run from it, and we try to like fill our lives with all these different things and different people and relationships, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And when you have a twin flame, it's really not going to work. It's going to hurt like hell. I like to say creeping it real. Maybe with creepy. Creeping it real. And I'm creeping it real because the only way of truly having yourself work, yourself become that union, that unity, therefore bringing union together with your beloved, is if you are able to heal those fragments, go into those deep, scary places, go deep into the pain, be able to explore that pain, be able to witness it, being able to feel those emotions that are so hard to feel, that a lot of times we want to ignore, create diversions, escape from. I have to tell you, I get twin frames that are just like, I feel like maybe going with a soulmate would be easier, or I feel like, getting off the path might be the right choice. And it doesn't solve a thing. Now, I'm not here to tell you what to do in any way, but I am here to really give truth to you guys. And the truth is, how do you run from yourself? How do you run? The more that you run from yourself, the more in your external reality you are going to have experiences that are going to mirror what's going on within. No matter how much you don't want to look at it, no matter how much you don't want to know about it, no matter how much the universe is pressing for you to make really drastic, radical change in your life, and you're just like, no, I can't do that because of X, Y, and Z. It's going to show up in your reality, and you will feel the pain. That pain will continue, and your twin flame magnifies that pain, because your twin flame is always getting you and you're getting them to become your best version, to close the doors on the past, to welcome those shadows with open arms and compassion and gentleness, and bring all of those parts in, so that way you can become whole, you can become unified. That is what your twin is helping you to do through all of this pain. So if right now you are being really faced with some major challenges, you're being faced with yourself, maybe you're being faced with your patterns, maybe you're being faced with your compulsions, maybe you're being faced with some kind of habit that has not been serving you, but you've been just kind of coasting for this long. There's no more coasting, guys. There's no more coasting. Maybe you're somebody that's felt, oh, well, this is what I'm presenting to the public. This is what people think of me as, know me as. Maybe you have gone through life really just thinking about, okay, how do other people feel about me? What are their judgments about me? What are their opinions about me? That's the only thing that matters. Giving your power away. Maybe you have gone through life giving your power away. And I have to tell you, this is a hero's journey. It really is about going into those demons and those dragons and really cross-examining them and really extracting out of those shadows, out of those dragons, out of that, the gifts of power, of true power, Not distorted power, not arrogant power, not ego power, but true power, true heart-based divine power. And that's why, if you do not love yourself, if you do not accept all parts of yourself, then it's impossible for that twin flame connection to be harmonious, to work, it'd be impossible to feel your beloved in that higher heart space, that higher vibe, that higher frequency. It is the connection that's built on higher vibration, higher frequency. This is not the time, especially now, with how accelerated things are, to wallow in that self-pity, to stay in that space, to stay in that sadness, to wallow in that anger, whatever it is. It's to really invite it and really spend time with it. Really examine where does this come from? Where does this come from? Is there an experience from my childhood? Have I been abused? Has that abuse created a story, created a belief about myself? Have I been bullied? Have I created a story? Have I created a belief about myself? Am I not good enough? Do I constantly compete with myself and others? Right? In a negative way, competition. Do you try to control? Did you have a controlling parent? Was there somewhere in your childhood where there was rigidity and control, and therefore you put that onto the self, and so constantly trying to control, right? It's really feeling those emotions out with gentleness. It's really that is a great big part of the work, sitting with things and really being able to feel it without resisting it. But it's going to be so super important, guys, if we're going to move forward, to really understand the shadow, understand the root causes behind them, or underneath them, I should say. And, maybe write it down. Write down your feelings. Write down where do you think that it could possibly come from. And this is not to blame our parents. This is not to create more resentment on top of resentment, more judgment on top of judgment. Not at all. This is just to trace down the root causes and to realize that, okay, this is where the actual root cause work, shadow work is. And the shadow work is so, so very, very crucial. This path is not without making very uncomfortable radical changes. I have to say that. Okay? Where you are being pushed and pushed and pushed to make changes so you can grow, so you can evolve. And sometimes those radical changes, and many times, are going to take extreme bravery and courage to follow what you're feeling, to follow the guidance. Right? Those radical changes can involve ending a marriage or a relationship. Those radical changes could be ending a friendship that you know has not been having a good impact on you. It's been negative or been draining you. It could be something like stepping away from social media, or some people, social media doesn't help them altogether. It could be about changing your career, or if it's not changing your career, how can you do what you do with more purpose, right? And there may be big types of decisions, radical decisions to make there, especially if people, family, friends, people out there in the public, they know you, they're used to you as something, as this particular persona, this particular image, and now you're turning around and you're doing something extremely different, right? There's a fear there of what, am I going to lose something? Is this not the right decision? Who am I? Right? The shadow work just takes so much. And your twin flame will absolutely push you to do whatever is necessary to be in alignment with your power, to be in alignment with your true purpose without distortions, right? Without distortions. You know, sometimes it's good to make a list of qualities. You could do it in a journal, maybe have a shadow work journal or something where you can write, write your feelings, and maybe write qualities that you love about yourself. I know what the other side of the list is going to be. One side will be what you love and what you really feel are valuable qualities, and then the things that you don't like about yourself on the other side. And usually, most people, it's very normal to have on the other side lots of different complaints about yourself, right? How can you extend unity consciousness, love, gentleness, compassion to those qualities that you deem as negative? And how can all those qualities have a positive side to them? There's a gift to all of that shadow side. We are made of shadows and light, right? So there's a negative side of the shadow, but there's also a positive side of the shadow. Guys, it's for us to get underneath all of this. If you are feeling stuck, if your twin flame is really testing you right now, it really is your sacred duty to get underneath that and to go within. Because that internal world, if that internal world doesn't shift, if that internal conversation is continuously negative and not good enough, not valuable enough, not deserving enough, not loving enough, then the only experiences that you're going to have in the physical reality are going to be negative experiences, negative relationships. That sadness will continue, that loneliness will continue, that anger will continue. Right? All of that hopelessness, helplessness, I'm a victim will continue. You are not alone with this work. You are not alone. There are so many people who are on this path, and it's not easy to do. To be able to be so honest, to look at yourself honestly and openly. It takes so much integrity. It takes so much strength and bravery to look at yourself. But guaranteed, if you are feeling stuck, if you are feeling trapped, if there are certain feelings that just keep coming back, they're always there, no matter how hard you try to escape or work, or participate in this, participate in that, go out with this person, go out with that person, whatever the diversion or escapism has been, you cannot escape what the true energy is within you, where you're operating from. You cannot. This is why people tend to date the same type. They seem to have all their relationships go down that same toxic track, and they end the same kind of toxic way. Why do I attract psychos? Why do things never seem to work out in my life? Why do I always attract friends that always seem to try to control me or manipulate me or are not authentic with me? Why do these experiences happen? Why am I always feeling I have to struggle financially? Why is my health not working out? All of that has to do with the fact that you are separated within. There are fragmented parts, there are holes within you, and those will go back from your childhood wounds. They will be passed down from the bloodlines as far as beliefs and stories, emotions, right? They will also come from other lifetimes where you've been disempowered, where you weren't allowed to speak your truth, where you had an authority over you. right? All of that. And your twin flame literally will take the Band-Aid off the wounds that you put on so seamlessly as you thought and just go and rip it. And it's not to torture you. It's not, some people, how could this be a divine journey when there's so much pain and my twin is shutting me out and rejecting me and going with others or whatever it is, lying to me. How could this be divine? This is a lie. But it isn't a lie, right? This is a journey of getting underneath all of that to find your true power, to find your true divine identity, so that you can be your best version. You can function completely whole, and you can help add to the wholeness of the world, right? Bring the world, the earth into wholeness. So this is going to be, the Mercury retrograde is really getting us here, especially we have like the Venus, right? The Venus retrograde. There's a lot of emotions now in the collective. Right? There's a lot of testing. And if you have been really wallowing in that pain and suffering or hopelessness and helplessness and victimization, now is the time for you to take your power back, because your twin, of course, is just going to magnify more of that, right? But they're trying to get you and you're trying to get them, and that connection together that never goes away is trying to get you both to truly be in your divine power, right? And out of the 3D illusion. So take that time is my advice. Take that time. Get underneath, ask yourself those greater questions when you're feeling those emotions, when you're feeling the loneliness, when you're feeling the sadness, anger, resentment, helplessness, hopelessness, victimization. Ask yourself the deeper questions. Allow those emotions to intensify and come up so that way you can be with that. Send the love to that, the acceptance to those shadows. Because believe me, if they're not accepted, they are going to attempt to consume you more. The more you resist, the more those shadows will consume you. This is all a part of the twin flame journey. This is all a part of the Ascension journey. So I'm wishing you all so much bravery and courage. Layers, 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 right? These things don't all come up at the same time. This is why I hear a lot of twin flames. I've already healed this. I've already gone over this ground. Guess what? There are deeper wounded areas and layers underneath that. And the more that you get to those layers, the higher your vibe, the more whole you'll feel, the more in your heart space you'll be, the closer your heart will be with your beloved. You are also assisting your beloved as you're doing the work, as you're doing the shifting. That's also assisting them with sorting out their own too. It's the layers. You can do this. If you need any extra help, if you're not really sure what to do with some of this shadow work, if things are being so magnified on your journey and so triggered and you're going through such purge, but you're not really understanding what the work is, if you need a little extra help with that, I'm here, theparanormalpriestess.com. I will leave my information in the description below. And in reading sessions, we will speak to your team directly. We will have their guidance as to what's truthfully coming up underneath. If you're feeling that low space and you're feeling stuck, right? And we can explore that and come up with a plan as well. So it's a reading, but it's also guidance that's in there too. Hold on to yourselves. And remember, always remember, from the heart of the darkness is born the light. Brightest blessings to all of you. Take good care of you. See you soon. Bye-bye.